All right. This is all right. Hey YouTube, this is Mr. Ponytron.
And this is the Clockwork Phantom, and we're really sorry for not, getting another fanfic reading out for such a long time. I mean, technical difficulties, I guess you can understand. But nevertheless, we're doing what we can to bring up this next chapter here to keep the story ongoing.
All right. This is chapter 2 of The Key.
Apple Bloom woke up in the light of the sunrise. It took a while to blink the blur just to see, but when things became clear, she was staring out of a window that overlooked the deserts of Appaloosa. Wait.
Scootaloo? Sweetie Belle?
She sat up, finding herself in a gorgeously carved bed that was made out of applewood, the kind of that was used on Sweet Apple Acres. She found herself in a room where there were pictures of every family member she knew and many folks that she never even seen before. But what caught her eye the most was what caught most of her attention was what was right in front of her, or rather, who. Sitting her back from the fireplace in a rocking chair was her sister. Same coat, same key mark, same blonde mane and tail. She even had the same hat. But there was a golden apple that was added to it. Yet she was much bigger, and had her wings folded to her sides with a horn sticking out of her forehead, and her eyes looked very tired. Apple Bloom had seen her like this before, when she had to work late with graveyard shifts. Those tired eyes were staring right at her.
I just don't know what to do with you,
she said.
I don't know if I should be shocked, or thankful, or sad, or even glad that my own sister, long thought to have either been full nap or ran away, searched for decades, only later to presume dead, and I have wept for you for centuries, only to find out that you, as well as Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, to come right back 1,000 years later. The only thing that's on my mind right now is asking you, why?
Here, Apple Bloom saw something in her sister's eyes that she hadn't seen since the day her parents died. Her tears.
Why did you leave? Was it something I said? Or somebody else said or did? Did you leave with somebody without leaving us a little hint, not even a note? Just why?
Apple Bloom, ignoring her hunger pains, got out of the bed and went over to her sister.
Sis, you did nothing wrong. I didn't know I even left, I swear. Please don't cry, Applejack, I'm here. There ain't nothing to cry about no more.
She was caught off guard when her sister went up and hugged her in a death grip. Apple Bloom struggled to say something.
What's that, Apple?
Applejack loosened her grip a little.
Applejack asked.
Okay.
Oh.
Applejack asked, loosening her grip a little.
Oxygen!
Oh! She let go of her sister.
So sorry about that. I just couldn't help it.
She laughed uneasily, but returned her stern look.
But in all seriousness, just where on this planet have the three of you been? We have been looking the entire world for you.
Apple Bloom's ears folded back. She looked down as she pawed at the ground.
I'm sorry, sis. It was just yesterday that we went all over Ponyville to see what this key unlocks. We spent all day looking until we found a blue box on Trotton Lane. A blue box? Yeah, and I know I might sound a little crazy, but we found it was somehow bigger on the inside, and there was this machine in there, and there's this stallion with didgeridoo. Then Sweetie Belle set the machine running, and we tried to get out, and when we did, we found everything changed, and Pinky's an alicorn. I think I get the picture.
Applejack put a hoof in her sister's mouth.
Just so I know that you didn't run away on purpose, right? Why would I? What? And that this stallion didn't full nap you, right? Well, no.
Applejack hugged her sister again, this time a little more gently.
That's all I want to hear. And the important thing now is you're back, and that's all that matters. But what about Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo? Where are they?
Applejack smiled.
Sweetie is in Prance with Rarity, and Scoots is in Cloudsdale with Rainbow.
It was here that Applebloom's stomach growled loudly.
Wow, look at that. I didn't realize you'll be that hungry. Come on, let's get your breakfast. Oh, good. I'm starving. And, by the way, what's breakfast? Whatever you want.
Not in all of her memories of Applebloom has Applejack ever seen her sister this hungry. She had already went through flapjacks stacked as high as her head that was drenched in melted butter and maple syrup, half an apple pie, 3 glasses of apple juice, and at least a dozen cinnamon buns. Orange juice. But when she wasn't eating, she asked about what happened to her, the family, the farm, and why she's in Appaloosa of all places. Princess Applejack explained that after she had disappeared, she had transcended from Earth Pony to an alicorn when she unlocked a new kind of magic of honesty. Over time, the family that Applebloom knew died off one by one. First, Granny Smith, then Prince Big Mac and his wife, Shirley, until all her best friends became alicorns like her and Twilight. She worked on the farm until she could find ponies worthy enough to take care of it, and promised to keep it in business as long as possible. The farm itself is gone, but it did leave a legacy behind of work ethics that helped her relate to the ponies here in Appaloosa. She had helped through trial and error to strengthen the relationships of the buffalo tribes and the ponies who worked here, where Equestria became an empire of harmony, where Princess Celestia once Princess Celestia, is now the Empress of the Day, and Luna, the Empress of the Night. Applejack wisely suggested that parts of the empire should have a leader of its own. That way, all who ruled these territories are to keep in check so they don't become corrupt. And because of relationships here in Appaloosa, she decided to stay here to rule.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Applebloom said.
But wait, if you're princess here, does that make me royalty or something? Well, since you're really the only one who's really close to me by blood, so yeah, sweet.
She continued to devour a plate of toast. After a while, Applejack spoke up.
Applebloom, I need to tell you something. About what? Well, after you left, we started searching for clues to try and figure out where y'all were. Well, for my part, the first thing I did was going through your diary.
Here, Applebloom nearly choked on her 4th cup of apple juice.
You did what? I know. I shouldn't have. But at the time, we were desperate to find y'all. So I thought maybe if you kept a diary like we had, maybe it might provide a clue as to where you might have gone.
At this point, Applebloom turned into a paler shade of yellow.
And while I went through it, I found something. It was the part about Scootaloo.
Now, Applebloom's face turned more and more red. She couldn't look her sister in the eye. She was getting nervous, and her sister knew it.
I don't know what you're talking about, Applebloom. I mean, Scoot's a good friend and all. Applebloom. You know what, I should go.
She said quickly as she tried to leave the room, but before she could even make it halfway towards the door, she found herself in a yellow light, being picked up off the ground. Now she was terrified. She tried to buck and move her limbs to fruitlessly try to free herself.
Applejack, no! Let me go! Applebloom, look at me!
Reluctantly, she did. Applejack could see nothing but absolute fear in her little sister's eyes.
Applebloom, you don't have to be afraid of me no more. Well, why not? The thing is, I get it.
She just stared at her for what seemed to be a good solid minute until she asked,
What? Look, if it makes you feel any better, remember Brayburn? You mean Cousin Brayburn? The one who really likes it here and has that creeper than anything you've ever seen smile whenever any opponent gets off the train, Brayburn?
Applejack nodded.
What about him? He got married.
Her eyes widened.
He did? Yep. But more surprisingly, who he married? Who? Believe it or not, it's Soren.
Now Applebloom's jaw dropped.
Soren? As in one of the Wonderbolts, Soren? So wait, does that mean that Cousin Brayburn is
Was. Applejack interrupted. Sorry.
He passed away a long time ago. But to answer your question, yes, Cousin Brayburn was in Stallions, which in hindsight turns out to be really helpful when the Pegasi immigrated here in time with the harvests. All because a famous Pegasus married someone who lives here. Oh, and if it helps any further, Bloom, I'm married. Oh, now I can't believe that. And why not? No offense, sis, but the last time I saw you, you weren't the marrying type. That was 1,000 years ago.
Her older sister said, rolling her eyes.
But when I got to start doing these princess duties, I found myself that being ruler is much more lonely than I thought. And at Bloom, I know it's one of the worst feelings you can have. And I know that as long as there's some pony beside me, I would never feel lonely. So, what's his name? Her.
Applejack corrected her. Applebloom stared at her sister again. Somehow, this time it seemed longer.
Applejack, does that mean that I like mares? Yes, Applebloom, you don't need to hide no more.
Even suspended in midair by her sister's magic, Applebloom did manage to give her sister a nuzzle.
Oh, alright, so who is it then?
Applejack asked. Applebloom asked, sorry.
I'll give you a hint. She has a very colorful mane, and even after 1,000 years, she's still very narcissistic. You mean Rainbow Dash?
Applejack smiled and said only one word.
Yup. Alright, that'll be the end of that chapter, so we'll be doing chapter 3 sometime soon, we hope. Alright, ta-ta!